Walk into any nail supply store or scroll online for just 5 minutes and you'll see dozens of gel names. Hard gel, soft gel, builder in a bottle, rubber base, gel polish, structure gel, top coat, extension gel, and base coat. And the list literally goes on from there. Most people assume these are completely different materials, but they're not. They're variations of the same acrylate chemistry, but designed to do different jobs. And if you don't understand what each one is meant to do, you end up layering products randomly, removing unnecessarily, overbuilding, undercuring, or blaming the wrong product or step when something goes wrong. So today, we're going to simplify this. We're going to map the gel universe. Hi, I'm Liz Morris, founder of Attain, and one of the biggest reasons I created this brand was to bring clarity back to gel education. Gel isn't confusing because it's complicated. It's confusing because marketing terms exploded faster than education did. So today, we're going to organize the categories in a way that makes sense, chemically, structurally, and practically. There are two primary families of gel, hard gel and soak-off gel. Everything else fits inside one of these two categories. Hard gel is a gel that cannot be removed with acetone. It must be filed off. That's it. The reason hard gel cannot be soaked off isn't because it's stronger in a marketing sense. It's because the polymer network that forms when it cures is tightly cross-linked and resistant to solvent penetration. That means acetone cannot break those bonds effectively. Hard gel is typically more rigid, highly stain resistant, ideal for long extensions, extremely durable, designed for long-term wear with backfills, and it is not intended for frequent full removal. Conversely, soak-off gel is designed so that acetone can penetrate and swell the polymer network enough to break it apart. That doesn't mean it's weak, it means it was engineered to be removable. This is where a lot of confusion happens. Soak-off gel is sometimes called soft gel, but I don't love that term because it implies weakness or softness is the defining feature, when in reality, the defining feature is removability. Soak-off gels can include things like gel polish, soak-off builder gels, rubber bases, builder in a bottle, structure gels, and some full coverage extension systems. They're all removable with acetone. They're usually easier to learn and apply, great for more natural nail care, ideal for short to medium nails or for use with specific other extension systems. They have a lighter feel and also lower commitment. This is also where we tie back to our nail health conversation. A lot of people assume that soak-off nail products must actually be removed completely every time the nails are maintained. But we'll talk about that in a little bit, where the formulation of the product actually has a large role to play in whether or not the product should be completely removed or can be also backfilled and maintained without complete removal. Frequent full removal of any nail product, especially every 2 weeks, means repeated filing, repeated acetone exposure, repeated prep, and that mechanical repetition is ultimately what thins nails, not the gel itself. If this video is already helping you, be sure to like and subscribe because this video is part of a larger series called How to Do Gel Nails at Home. You can start from the beginning at any time, and I recommend watching this series in order if you want the full foundation. And throughout the series, I'll occasionally drop some small knowledge check-ins and rewards for those of you that are truly paying attention, so keep watching. Now let's organize gel by what it does, not just whether it soaks off with acetone. First up are base gels. Base gels exist for one primary reason: adhesion. They are engineered to bond to the natural nail plate and create a foundation for the layers above. They are not designed for structure, they are not designed for length, and they are not designed for shine. They are designed to anchor. Builder gels are structural. This is where thickness, architecture, apex building, and reinforcement happen. Builder gels can exist in both hard gel and soak-off categories. That's important to know. Builder describes the function. It's usually a thicker viscosity than gel polish that's used to add structure, length, and that upper architecture to the nail. Hard or soak off describes whether or not it's removable. But it's important to know that builder gels typically are used to add strength, create length, create shape, and correct structure. They're also typically used to reinforce nails and create a buffer for color and backfilling. That way we don't have to constantly remove all of the product. They range drastically in viscosity from thin, self-leveling formulas to thick sculpting gels. So builder gel is a big category of those types of products. Color gels are decorative. They usually contain pigments, shimmer, glitter, or other opacity agents. Because pigments block UV light, color gels are usually applied in thinner layers to ensure proper curing. Color gels can exist in both hard and soak-off systems as well. And I would also put art gels under this color gel category. Usually at the top of our surface, we put top coat. Top coats seal and protect the surface. They control shine or provide a matte finish. They provide scratch resistance, surface smoothness, and they are the final protective barrier for everything underneath. Now, let's clarify a few names that you probably see online. Now, there are also products that can span the gap between different layers. So instead of having to use two individual products, we can use just one. And these types of products are what usually are referred to as builder in a bottle, or BIAB, or also sometimes rubber base. Attain adhesion is actually something that also spans this gap. Attain adhesion is a product that's able to do base gel, which means it adheres to the natural nail plate, and it also has a thicker viscosity, which is intended to allow it to be used as a builder or overlay gel type of product. This was extremely intentional because I wanted to develop a product that functioned like the very popular builder in a bottles or rubber bases, but really took advantage of that oligomer-based allergy-conscious chemistry. It's also easier to learn with these kinds of products because they are a little bit thicker, they have less tendency to run into the cuticle or sidewalls, which allows you more control while still getting that high level of performance that you're looking for. Attain adhesion can be completely soaked off if you'd like to, but it also allows for us to develop what's called protective overlays. We'll get into this more when we get into application, but it's important for you to know that if you're purchasing Attain adhesion, it has so many multi-purpose benefits built into that formula that we will get into with all of the various application techniques and service strategies. Structure gel or sculpting gel are usually builder-style gels used for reinforcement. They're usually going to be quite thick so it doesn't lose its shape after application, and the goal of this type of gel is to create an apex and upper architecture, as well as be able to be used on nail forms without slipping around. This builder gel category is a very general term used to describe gels that are thicker and can be built up to create an overlay or protection and reinforcement. They can be found in both hard gel or soak-off gel formulations. Again, the word builder tells you what it does and a little bit about its comparative viscosity. Hard or soak-off tells you how it's removed. And lastly, there's also even more multi-purpose formulas that are called one-steps. These can be anything from thin gel polish style base, color, and top coats in one, or they can also be builder gels that contain base, builder, and cure shiny. In general, I am not a fan of all-in-one gels as they usually don't do any of their individual steps exceptionally well. They are good for a quick application, but may fall short in performance. I find they are marketed as a time saver, but still require alterations and supplementations to get desired results. I truly believe that one of the reasons this gel breakdown feels overwhelming is because brands market outcomes instead of chemistry. They use terms like strongest gel, most flexible, longest lasting, no lift formula, cool curing, but the truth is all gels are acrylate systems. They just vary in formulaic characteristics. Now, if you remember from the last episode, gel is a pre-mixed acrylate system that polymerizes when exposed to UV light. All of these variations, hard, soft, builder, base, are simply tweaks in acrylate networks. We're not dealing with completely different materials. We're dealing with customized versions of the same foundational chemistry. This is why I care so much about education. When you understand categories, you stop over-removing unnecessarily, mixing incompatible systems blindly, assuming soak-off means weak or assuming hard gel means better, Instead, you start choosing intentionally, and you're able to extract more value out of all the products you purchase and use. At Attain, this is exactly how we formulate, by deciding what the product's job is first, and then building the chemistry around that purpose. Now that you understand the categories, we're ready to go deeper. In the next episode, we're going to zoom in on one of the most important ingredients in modern gel chemistry, HEMA. We'll talk about what it is, what HEMA-free really means, and why moving towards oligomer-based systems like Attain requires a completely different mindset. Because safer chemistry doesn't mean easier chemistry, it means more intentional chemistry. And that affects how you are going to do your nails in order to take advantage of all of those oligomer-based benefits. The goal of this series isn't to overwhelm you with product names. It's to help you see what gel really is. Because when you understand the fundamentals in gel chemistry and in nail architecture, everything related to gel systems becomes simpler. And that's ultimately how we make gel nails fun again.